G'day, Glav here and welcome back. Please remember, if you like these videos, hit that subscribe button and hit that like button as well.
So here we are in Australia, day one of about a 9-day ride. We're doing what we're labelling the Aussie Alps ride. Australia's only got a couple of sets of mountains. One's in Victoria and one's in New South Wales. Beautiful country. Hope it hasn't been ravaged by the bushfires too much. But we're going to ride both of them all up 4,000 odd kilometres. Today this is what we have riding. My bike, a Harley CVO Ultra, a BMW, Honda Valkyrie, and we've got a Yamaha. Here we are in Gundawindi. Can't wait to get the fuck out of here, otherwise we'll be carried away by the flies. Unfortunately, the last couple of hours it's rained on us all the way. Taking the wet weather gear off, hopefully it'll be dry for the rest of the way. Let's see. So we've arrived in Coonabarabran, had everything today, rain and bugs. My bike was washed before I left, have a look at it now. What a mess. So here we are, beginning of day 2 in Coonabarabran, leaving shortly. Got about a 600 kilometre ride today, staying tonight in Wagga. Boys are getting ready here. Beautiful blue sky, so should have a fine run today. So here we are at the Parkes Observatory. This is where the famous Australian movie called The Dish was made. This is still in operation, has been around for a long time. So here we are in Grenfell. Why Grenfell? Because it's in the middle of New South Wales. My mate Dave, who's riding with us, has been my mate for close on 40 years, or actually well over 40 years. Is his hometown, where he used to have a family, had a small farm outside of Grenfell. Got married here, I was his groomsman. It's got a tiny little town, 2,000 or 3,000 people, but got 5 pubs. Good to see. Quite a nice little town actually. A lot different now from what I remember it 30 odd year ago. This is the home of Henry Lawson too, our famous writer and poet. Here I am with my mate Henry Lawson, in the middle of downtown Grenfell. Yippee-ki-yay!
Friggin' hell, another dirt road. As usual, not on Google Maps, but there you go. That's motorcycle touring.
So here we are in the start of day 3. It's Wagga Wagga. It's currently 17 degrees. We're heading down this morning through Albury to Omeo, but we'll be heading over the Victorian Alps. Apparently it's 2 to 3 degrees there, and by the time we hit there, it's going to warm up to about 8 degrees, but 50% chance of rain at the same time. See how we go. That was Middleton. That's a beautiful little alpine town. Pretty cool in winter here. Pretty cool in temperature. It's a pretty cool place to be too. Pretty cool place. For fuck's sake, I'm never going riding with these useless motherfuckers. It just snowed and hailed on us. Just freezing cold, water everywhere, and now the friggin' sun's out. Get fucked. 6 degrees apparently, we got ice bouncing off us. Well, good morning. It's the beginning of day 4. We're in Omeo in Victoria. I guess you'd call this on the southern side of the Victorian Alps. It's 8 odd o'clock in the morning. It's quite brisk. Be sub 10 degrees. It's quite overcast, but it's not supposed to rain. I can see fog up in the mountains. Hopefully we'll have a better day in the weather than we did yesterday. Happy days. We are in Brisbane. Just done 100 k's, the most amazing roads. Bushfire ravaged, but amazing roads. Windy, twisty, alpine roads. Roads are wet, but hey, who gives a shit? So it's the beginning of day 5. We're leaving Bombala this morning. It's about 10 degrees, so quite crisp. Skies look okay. Not sure how many kilometres today. I think it's less than 400, but a pretty windy, twisty, slow ride. Hopefully we'll get to Tumut tonight, which is at the top end of the Kosciuszko Snowy Mountains Alpine scheme, but we'll see how we go. So we've just come down from Thredbo on our way to Cancoban. Some really twisty, windy downhill stuff at the top. Opened up a little bit towards the bottom where I just had a friggin' ball. This is what you're greeted with at the bottom, just absolutely glorious at the bottom of the Snowy River scheme, Mount Kosciuszko. Have a look at this. So this is one of the Snowy Hydro power stations, one of a couple here in the Snowy Mountains. They're the two largest we have in Australia, I think. Maybe Tasmania's bigger, I'm not quite sure. Good renewable energy. Well, good morning, beginning of day 6, crisp here in Tumut. It's about 10 degrees. Today we had changed the track a bit. We're going to head up to Mudgee through the famous Bathurst. We'll probably do a lap of the circuit there. Can't remember exactly how long. It's just under a 6-hour ride today, 6-hour ride time, and about 500 clicks, I think, from memory. Happy days.
The Cowra number 12 prisoner of war compound was a major POW camp where 4,000 Axis military personnel and civilians were detained throughout World War II. The prisoners at Cowra also included 2,000 Italians, Koreans who served in the Japanese military, and Indonesian civilians detained at the request of the Dutch East Indies government. Although the POWs were treated in accordance with the Geneva Convention, relationships in particular between the Japanese POWs and the Australian Guards were poor, due largely, they say, to significant cultural differences. The Cowra breakout occurred on the 5th of August 1944, where 1,104 Japanese prisoners of war attempted to escape. It was the largest prison escape of World War II, as well as one of the bloodiest. During the escape and ensuing manhunt, 4 Australian soldiers and 231 Japanese soldiers were killed. The remaining Japanese escapees were recaptured and imprisoned.
There's some bloody sheep in the middle of the frickin' road. This lap normally takes 2 minutes and 12 seconds. It'll probably take us about 6. So we left Mudgee this morning about 8 o'clock. At least the temperature was double digits, doing about 500 kilometres odd today to where we're going. It's about a 6-hour ride, very nice ride through here. It's day 8. We're in Dorrigo. The roads are pretty wet. The bikes are pretty wet. Just standing outside our hotel room. It's pretty chipper, but the sky is blue, so hopefully the rain has stopped. We're going to head back up the coast road today because the condition because of the bushfires, the tiny little roads we're going to do is a bit unknown. So we're going to take the safe route. Where we end up tonight, not quite sure. Maybe Inverell, maybe Warialda, but we'll see how we go. Happy days.
Goddamn rain again. Going through some mountainous terrain too. So wet, slippery, ugly really, but carry on, giddy up.
So, last day of the ride, day 9, we're in Inverell. We're going to a auto museum this morning before we head back to Brisbane. Today's 400 odd kilometres back to Brisbane. Is 5.5 hour ride, I think. Once we cross the border, need to be careful because the Queensland Police will book you for doing just a couple of kilometres over. So, happy days, happy ride, happy life.
Hope you enjoyed this latest Glav World video, and please remember, live life today.